Hello and welcome to the Martial Arts Chat podcast. On this episode, we're looking ahead to Cage Warriors 104. It takes place in Cardiff on the 27th of April. And on today's show, we'll be speaking with all the big fighters from that card, including Mason Jones, Jack Shore, Scott Malone, Tom Kong Watson and Aaron Khalid. The MMA media will also be giving us their thoughts on the roundtable too. Sean Sloan and the guys at Newsome MMA and Severe MMA as well. So let's get to the chat. We start in Wales with our greatest son, the champion, defending his crown on the home turf. He's doing it against Scott Boom Boom Malone as well, but he's on fire, and it's Jack Shore. Cage Warriors 104 takes place in Cardiff, Wales on the 27th of April. And I'm pleased to say, returning to the show is a bantamweight champ, the main event, Wales' greatest son, Jack Shore. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Wales' greatest son, I like that one. Yeah, I'm good, I'm all good. How are you? You're doing well right, as well, I imagine.
Hanging in there, brother. You're well loved, man. I mean, you've got some following. The people love you, man. You must feel the love, right?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it started as right from amateur. I had a good core group of friends, and my family used to follow me everywhere. And they're a rowdy bunch in a good way. And I think, yeah. Obviously, the more shows I fought on, people have sort of clocked on where my supporters are, and sort of got the sing song going with them, and it's just gone from there. And obviously now I'm selling out the ice arena. I sold out twice last year, and again now in April. So yeah, I do feel the support, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Do you feel it building every time? Like, do you get stopped in the street and that kind of thing now, or where are we at?
Yeah, it's definitely getting bigger all the time. Especially over Christmas, and in Aberdeen more so, I get a couple of people just stop me and wish me well, and ask when the next fight is. So it's nice, it's the fruits of your labour and all that, and it is getting bigger and bigger, and that's obviously down to Cage Warriors and MMA in general is growing. So we're in a good spot. It's a good time to be involved.
For sure, man. Let's get a wee catch up from last time we spoke. Obviously, Cage Warriors 100. You were getting ready for Mike Hickendio, the belt, unbeaten record, hometown, a lot on the line, and it was just very convincing fashion. Let's say that, man. You must have been well pleased with the TKO. Yeah,
it was. I was very happy with the fight, to be honest. In the build up, I noticed a lot online that people were sort of writing me off, and I couldn't work it out. People were saying that I was going to get manhandled, and what's he going to do when he ends up on his back? And I thought, me and my coaches know my ability, and I always had it in my head. We'll see who's laughing afterwards, and sort of get the win. Obviously, in the fashion I did, and sort of beat Mike at his own game was one of the highs of my career for sure. And obviously, winning the belt as well is just an added bonus.
Oh, aye, for sure. Do you let when you were saying like people were sort of writing you off? I didn't think that would enter your thoughts. Like, it sounds like you've used it as motivation, but is that do you keep your ear to the ground what people are saying and things when it comes to yourself?
Yeah, it's not so much that I take. It's not so much I let get to me or bother me, but it's like you're doing these interviews, and I'm getting tagged, especially a fight coming out, I get tagged in articles left, right, and centre about the show, and you read the interviews and listen to the people chatting, and they seem to write me off a little bit, and I thought, well, we'll see how that one goes for you. But it's not something I let bother me or make me emotional before a fight. It's just it's something that like you said, use as motivation, and see who has the last laugh.
That's it, man. Exactly. I mean, you shot Mike's takedown attempts, every single one of them, if I remember right. Dominated the fight, man, on the feet and on the mat, securing it TKO third round. Cage Warriors 100 to boot as well, man. I mean, greatest night of your fighting career, is that probably fair to say, mate?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I said it about 100 times before the last fight. To fight for a world title is special alone, but to do it, in as what's good as my own town, and obviously being the biggest Cage Warriors event ever, just added to the stakes. And so it's something I'll always remember, and when it's all said and done, I'll be able to look back on that night, and no one will be able to take that away from me.
So we're talking a wee bit off air about, from then to now, but Christmas, New Year, you enjoyed yourself, treating yourself well, mate?
Yeah, it was just nice to have a bit of time, not time off training, because I'm always in the gym, even though at Christmas I was training, at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, but it was nice to just take your time a little bit, as those recovery sessions, those technical sessions, rather than, the full force of fight camp. So it was nice to have, I think it was around 4 to 5 weeks I had just, taking over and improving, and let my body heal, and I'm ready to go again now for this next one.
Oh, good stuff, man. Let's get to my boy then, Scott Boom Boom Malone. I mean, I followed Scott. We were talking about it as well. Like, since he turned pro, I've had him on a podcast a few times, shared the match film, that kind of thing. It's so exciting for me, I guess, because I know all about Scott and I love watching your stuff. So I get 2 questions here for you, Jack. First, how do you rate my man Boom Boom? And second, how's it all going to go down for you on fight night?
Yeah, I rate Scott very highly. You know, he's only had 7 pro fights, but he's obviously a lot better than that, I think. But with his judo background, and you know, you look at his last 2 wins against Sam Singer and especially my teammate Josh, he looked very impressive.
Yeah.
And you know, people seem to call him a grappler, but I think he's fairly well rounded as well. You know, you've seen that in the Sam Singer fight. He's got a decent strike in, so he's definitely a worthy challenger, and it's a tough test for me. But obviously, you know, I'm very confident in my abilities, and not in you know, that's not me being cocky or whatever. I just always am. I always see myself as a level above these guys, especially on the European circuit. And as good as Scott is, I see that I'm just going to have the edge in every area, and it's going to the best staying in Wales. I hate to break it to you.
Fair play, lad. And it is going to be some night, man. Yeah, Cardiff is always so raucous, and then you've got your fans into the bargain as well, which makes so much noise. Like you said, man, you're feeling love. It's going to be an electric night, man. I really can't wait to see it. It's going to be something else for sure. You know, a wee bit off topic, because I was nosying on social media and obviously nosying through your timeline before this. I see you post quite a lot of. I take it you're an Oasis fan, right? You post a lot of the.
Yeah, I'm a big Oasis fan. Yeah.
You've been to see them back in the day, or what?
No. I was only about, well, when they split up, I think I was about 13, 14, so I never got to go. I've been to see Liam live in Cardiff. Nice. And I've got tickets to go and see Noel as well in Cardiff in May, so I'm looking forward to that.
Is that this year?
And,
nice.
Should they ever get back together, I'm sure I'll try and get tickets, but I imagine they're going to be in high demand. But I'll see if I can pull a few strings.
Yeah, that's it, man. I got the pleasure of seeing them. When was that? What was Hindu Times and all that? What year was that? Probably 2002 or something like that. I was in like 17 or 18 or something. But yeah, man, just like, I mean, they were already massive for years by that point, but yeah, just, I mean, it's, if they ever do get back together, man, yeah, get yourself to an Oasis gig and like, just glorious,
no, definitely,
man.
Mate. It's the dream. Hopefully, you know, one day they'll do it. And because I always have a little stick off my girlfriend because she reckons I'm obsessed with them, and she's always telling me to turn the shit off. But you know, I don't let it get to me. So if they do get back together, I'll imagine I'll have to drag her to one of the gigs, see if I can change her mind as well.
What's so she doesn't like Oasis? So what's her listening?
I think she likes them a little bit, but I think because I listen to them so much now, it's constantly all I've ever got on. I think it's wearing a bit thin of it now. She's a bit bored of it, but she likes the odd track here and there, so I'm converting her slowly.
Good lad. I really liked your post actually a few weeks ago as well. It was I think it was like one of your earlier fights, maybe second or third fight, and you were criticising your performance, but you were appreciating the sort of learning experience as well. Do you watch old fights often, like your old performances and that a lot, Jack?
Not too often. I think it was my fourth fight. It popped up on my my memories, on my Facebook memories, and you know, I just clicked. I've watched that fight about 3 times in 2 years because it's not a performance I was really happy with on the night. But watching it back, like I said in the post, it's sometimes it's nice to watch those back and see how far you've come. You know, in what's only 2 years, it seems like I've come on leaps and bounds from that. Mm-hmm. You know, if I fought myself back then, it would be a domination. So. It's one of them ones. I think, you know, people are big into watching footage of other fighters and the top guys, but I think it's good to watch a little bit of yourself as well to you know, just to show that you're doing something right and you're progressing up the ladder slowly. You know what I mean? It's you got to appreciate your own skills as well as other people's.
Aye, that's good, man. Well said. An interview you did recently, you were asked about the UFC, and I know we spoke about that in the last show. I think you were saying it was like only a matter of time or whatever. I hate asking this, man. I never want guys to look ahead, but let's say hypothetically after Scott, what have you got planned in the future, Jack?
I think there's talks of, I think Cage Warriors were going to come back to Wales end of the year, October time. So obviously, providing all goes well, I'd like to defend the belt again in Cardiff. But I see they're going to Australia as well, and that'd be a nice little one to tick off the bucket list. You know, before I move on, because you know it's like when us British guys, you know, first move to the UFC, they tend to be on the British card and the European card. So if they're going to go to Australia before the year's out, I might I might sack off the Welsh card and say let's have a little trip out to Australia, get a win out there, and then potentially move on to bigger and better things. But like you said, it's one fight at a time. It's always been that mentality with me. I never look too far into the future because it's a mad old game. Anything can happen, but fully focused on Scott and getting the win there, and obviously after the 27th we'll go from there.
Well said, mate. So come fight night in Wales, we're expecting the Barmy Army making a lot of noise as usual, and we mentioned how much love you've got and just in your home country, mate. Just tell us a wee bit more, what does it mean to you, the love and support that you get from your fans, mate?
Yeah, it's massive to me. It's people say, I hear a lot of people say they don't really, they don't focus on the crowd too much, and as much as you can't let it take over your performance, when you're in there, especially in Cardiff, the arena's, the way it's laid out, that the crowd's really on top of it. It's hard not to thrive off that atmosphere, especially when I walk out there all going nuts. I have to focus a lot to keep calm on the walkout as well, but especially in that last fight, when I was putting the pressure on, and especially in that fear, I could hear the crowd getting more and more rowdy, spurring me on, and it does give you a little extra boost, I find, and in all fairness to the supporters who come watch me, they travel to London, to Belgium, they come all over to come watch me. It's not just, it's obviously bigger in Wales because it's easier to get to, but the fact that they're prepared to, spend their hard-earned money, and have a night out to come watch me when they could be spending it on other things, it means the world, and I'll forever be grateful, and I just look forward to taking them more places now when when we start moving on to them bigger shows. Like you said, Australia will be a nice trip for them. They just gotta get saving a little bit because the flights ain't gonna be too cheap over there.
Yeah, man, you can sort them out. You'll sure have a bit of stroke for then. I'm sure it'll be fine, man. Still a wee word with Graham, and then that's it.
I'll donate to the tour fund. That's what the boys.
There you go, man. That's it. Jack, always a pleasure at your time, sir. We're in for such a treat watching this fight. I really can't wait. But before I let you go, I just want to offer you the floor if you want to shout out any sponsors, associates, family, friends, anyone you like, Jack. It's all yours, mate.
Yeah, just big thanks to obviously all my team at Tulare Combat, my coaches Richard Shaw, Carl Parker, Gary Lockett, crew, him and Big GC, Greg Carlo doing my strength conditioning. Obviously my family, my mum, my sister, my girlfriend, all the boys, all my supporters, and all my sponsors as well. I'm not going to name them individually because I got that many. I'll end up forgetting someone and then upsetting them. So if you go on my social media, my Instagram and Twitter, and they're all over there, or on Jack Shaw MMA. So get involved, give them a follow, and support their companies.
Cracking. Jack Shaw, massive thank you again for coming back on our podcast. Best of luck come fight night, mate.
Top man, thanks a lot.
Cheers to Jack, can't wait, man, and we'll get Scott's reaction later on in the show, but we're staying with Wales to chat with the King. It's King versus Kong in this one, and first up it's King Khalid. 104, we're back in Cardiff and it's on the 27th of April. I'm pleased to say we have returning to the show King Khalid.
Hello.
Your Highness,
hello, Don,
how are you, sir? Should I bow down or sitting on your throne nice and comfy? Aye. That's it, man. Cracking. Last time we spoke, obviously, Cage Warriors 100. You were getting ready for Hacken Foss, and Teddy Darce finish for you, sir. Happy days, aye?
Yeah, nice to get this finish, especially with Darce. It's that trademark in that submission now.
Yeah, man.
I try to get it a lot.
It's the royal submission now, that's it, mate. It's
the royal submission.
But he was, we were speaking about it there, he wasn't happy with his stoppage or something. What do you remember from all of that, mate?
Yeah, he was saying he weren't out, was confused why the ref stopped it. If he weren't out or not, he still should have moved when the ref told him to move and moved his arm. Like he could have reacted, moved his feet, something, not just laid there stiff.
That's a tricky one, isn't it? Because a lot of the defence is you go flat on your back, but you're still in it. You know what I mean? It's not really. Yeah. But if you're not moving at all, man, it's.
Yeah, I understand his point of view, saying now it's the way to defend and stuff. But the ref moved your arm, at least wave at him or something.
Yeah, let him know. Aye, I suppose at the end of the day, it was Cage Warriors 100 in Wales. Big show, big submission for you. I mean, it probably didn't get much better than that, right? Best night of your fighting career, would you say?
Yeah.
Aye, easy.
Yeah, one of the best victories.
Good after party, no doubt.
No, my leg was busted up from his low calf kick, so
that's right, you were saying.
Went home and sat and moped him round in my bed. And my missus doing all the running around for me, getting me food and stuff.
Is it really that bad? Is it like you can't walk on it? Just crippling?
It was really bad. Like I had to get crutches for the first few days.
Jesus, man. Yeah, we were saying, like, I don't know if I've just noticed it, but I'm seeing that quite a lot, not just leg kicks, but the low on the calf ones. I mean, they cause damage in I think it gets guys more off balance as well. If you're hitting the thigh, it's a nice meaty part. It's not really disrupting stance, but that low calf kick, man, you're seeing it quite a lot, and you took it from them.
It just eats you up.
Do you just check them the way you would check a normal leg kick? I guess that's the idea, right?
Yeah, but you keep it a bit lower, I think, and turn more.
Aye.
That's the way to block it. Well, obviously, nobody's really used to that. So once people start defending, I think it'll be getting a lot better. But at the moment, people are just getting chewed up by him.
Aye, man. So between sort of Cage Warriors and now, how's life been treating you? Was it a good Christmas, New Year, and recovering that leg?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Good 2019 so far. I can't complain about anything.
And you'll be
doing...
doing...
Like everything's falling into place nicely.
Nice one, man. You said you were going to do another... Because you usually go out in Amsterdam, for some striking and that. You're doing this for 104?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully in the start of April. But, yeah, it all depends on money and training, really. Because training at the moment is getting really good. Everything's coming out nice. Everything's coming sharp down there. So it's becoming really good at the moment.
That's nice, man. I was speaking to your man Lou Long for Bellator, but he got quite a bad injury or something, right? He was
he just snapped his ankle, something like that. Yeah.
Shahur Bajin. What a guy though to have for you. What a guy to have for training. Not good that he's obviously done his ankle, but when you get somebody like that helping you and pushing you, I mean, that's...
especially when he was in camp, he was looking like phenomenal. Like he was the best he's ever looked in this camp. And then for him to get injured now just before I need in my camp, I'm like, fuck.
No, guys.
Last thing I need is Lou not here.
I know, man.
He's still there, but he's not training, so it's like it's difficult. I bet he's eating him up, not being able to get involved.
Oh, no doubt, man. You'll still have him in your corner though, right?
Hope he. Well, he's got his cast taken off, and he's like, ideal. The green light from the doctors, but he's just keeping things light at the moment. So hopefully, in the next few weeks, he could jump in.
Good man. Well, let's look ahead then.
Stop beating me up and ragging me.
I bet he can't wait. He's some man, isn't he? Let's talk Cage Warriors 104 then, because you're back in Cardiff, obviously. You get Tom Colin Watson for your troubles. We all know Tom, man, so experienced, been around the block twice and back. You'll know of him as well. Maybe tell me your thoughts on the big man and kind of what skills, threats do you think he might possess, that kind of thing, mate?
When I first got... When Lou first got in touch with me about Tom, I was like obviously excited, like, it's Tom Watson. Yeah, I'll take the fight. Then I started rewatching all his fights again, and I was like, fuck, this guy's actually really dangerous. Like, especially a middleweight. He was a big middleweight.
Yeah.
He was like, you could see he was a strong middleweight. His striking was good. He got some power. So him to drop down the weight, I think it's gonna be a really tough fight for me. He's going to be bigger than everyone else, stronger than everyone else. And a lot of people are like, but he's old. He's not been at the weight class before. He's going to look drawn and stuff. But you can see the way he speaks. He's not a dumb guy. He's very intelligent. So I think he'll drop the weight perfect. I think he'll go into camp perfect.
Aye.
I think he'll be the most conditioned Tom we've probably ever seen. It looks like he's got that fire back to compete.
Yeah, it's been a long layoff for him, right? What we were looking at 3 years or so.
You could tell he's just been itching to fight. I think he signed with Bama again.
That's
but they
right,
folded, didn't they?
That was last year. He was, I think he was expected to make the return to Bama, and then whatever, things went south with him.
Yeah, he offered, when Israel Adesanya fought, was it Melvin Gillard in Australia, a middleweight?
Oh, right.
I think he offered to fight Israel.
Wow.
So that wasn't that long ago either. So, like, you could tell he's been itching to fight for a while.
Aye. I mean, he's not just MMA. I mean, he's involved in, like, he does like Savat and all sorts of, like, not weird, but like martial arts that are maybe not traditional for MMA. Like, when I think of MMA, or like guys at the Scottish Hit Squad, it's like Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. You know, like, what I mean?
Self-defense kind of stuff.
Aye, he does. I think it's like it's Krav Maga and all that. I think he's into like some unique martial arts. Don't know how much of that he could bring to the cage, right enough, but yeah, he's does sound like he's got an itch, man. You're right. Yeah, it does sound like in that time he's been off, he's probably desperate.
So I'm excited for it. Like, I think that he'll bring the best out of me.
Yeah,
him being up another level compared to everyone else I fought.
But well, and if you don't mind me saying, mate, because you're a guy, you rise to things, man. See your fights with Ross Houston, like. Ross, being Scottish, right? Ross is that big deal up here, and both those fights, man, like, you couldn't have given him a more formidable opponent than you. But having watched some of your other fights, but having watched you and Ross go at it, it's almost like, if you don't mind me saying again, mate, like, it's like you step up to things. when a challenge is presented. Do you feel the same?
I suffer a lot mentally in the cage. I don't think I let myself go as much as I should. So I think the tougher the fights are getting, the more I'm being able to show what I can do, and it's just mentally being more prepared. So I think fighting Tom now, I think it's just going to open up. It's just I'm going to put on a better performance there, but I think.
Can't wait, man. King versus Kong, right? That's how it's built.
Yeah, it's funny that.
So is this poster? Was this your handiwork? No, was it a friend or something? I saw this one.
No,
you put out.
a friend of mine, Tom Bale.
Right.
He done a math time for my first one. He'll send me stuff over. Like fair play to him. He's okay doing them.
Nice one. King versus Kong's got a nice wee rank to it, man.
Yeah, it sounds good, don't it?
We bit off topic, man, talking about, because we're talking about striking in Amsterdam and stuff. Did you see who was that boy a few weeks ago? I don't know if you're a football fan, mate, but it was the Villa and Birmingham game. The guy ran onto the pitch.
Oh, the guy punched him, didn't he?
Just right in the back of the head. The fuck?
That's so bad. How did he get on the pitch? He should, like, can you imagine if he had like a weapon or something and seriously injured that player? Serious
stuff. But like,
I seen it on Twitter.
I don't know. I think he's doing time for that now. Well, I would imagine he's got some kind of. I don't know if it's a sentence.
Oh yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Got a canny, but football, like, I've seen it a lot now. Like, I don't know so much in England, but Scotland there's a lot of like bottles starting to come in onto the pitch and coins and things. And
really,
aye, man, it's getting bad. I don't know why. It was like that maybe the 80s or something. Do you know what I mean? And then like, football hooliganism's kind of died down. Maybe it's making a comeback. See, these guys, man, they need some calf kicks to sort them out.
Yeah, they'll sort them all out. They won't want to go out the house again.
That's it, man. That's it.
Sitting there, get angry at their TVs of football. And angry they can't get up.
That's it. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Let's get back to your fight then. Yeah, so it's cracking night of fight, man. I can't wait to see you back in the cage. Can't wait to see you back in the cage in front of Wales, man. Welsh fans, they just make so much noise. Who have we got? We've got Jack Shore, obviously, yourself.
Yeah, the stadium lights up when he comes out. It's insane.
Oh, amazing, man.
Like, I've been to a lot of fights and you don't feel the crowd as much as any other crowd when Jack's there.
Because you all get love, obviously, because like it's in your home country. But like, what is it about Jack? Why is he like? Why do you think he's like? I don't want to say the poster boy, but he is, man. Like, he's so adored by the Welsh fans.
I think it's just started off. His group of fans were loud.
Aye.
And he was make noise for him because obviously they're his fans and he's well known from where he's from. So I think it's caught on. So even people that don't even know him that well will be in the stands cheering, chanting, singing along to the songs and stuff, which all comes from his fans, really.
Yeah, man.
So they've made noise for him.
Yeah, Jack Shaw's on fire, and that's the chant.
Yeah.
I mean, it rubs on like who else, Mason Jones and stuff like that, but it'll rub off on all you guys as well. Yeah,
that's an amazing thing about fighting in Cardiff and Wales when Jack's main eventing.
Yeah,
like
man.
The Welsh fans get behind all the Welsh fighters.
God, I love it. Not look too far ahead, man. I hate asking this question, but after Tom, if you get the W, what's next for you, Aaron? What are you looking to get out of 2019, mate?
After Tom, probably take time off, but then fighting wise, probably one more fight, like a big name, like someone at the top of the division, and then maybe a title fight after that. Because Houston and Dolby got to go at it, haven't they?
Yeah, it looks like it.
And if Houston beats Dolby, I don't see why he wouldn't get signed. Like, Dolby looked phenomenal in his last fight. So yeah, Houston will probably be signed because I think he'll beat Dolby. And yeah, whoever's got the title at the time after one more fight, I think.
Fair play, man. Aaron, it's always a pleasure to get your time on the show, mate. Before I let you go, I was just wanting to offer you the floor here if you want to shout out sponsors, coaches, family, friends, a crazy partner yours, Lou Long. Anyone you like, mate, it's all yours.
Everyone at the Matt Academy who's been there for me training, helped me. My girlfriend, obviously, she's very supportive of me. My mother, my father, all the sponsors, they know they are. Can't even give me lots of stuff for my training and stuff, so that's good. Yeah, sorry.
Happy days, man. Aaron Khalid, always a pleasure getting you on the podcast, mate. Thanks for coming back on and best of luck at Fight Night, brother.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
We've heard from King, now let's hear from Kong. Delighted he's back in the cage. It's Tom Kong Watson. Continuing with the coverage of Cage Warriors 104 in Cardiff. Takes place at the end of April, and I'm pleased to say we're joined at this time. It's a UK MMA living legend, Tom Kong Watson. Tom, how are you, sir?
I'm glad you put the word in the beginning.
I've not killed you off just yet, mate. That's it. No, an absolute pleasure to have you on, man. It's been a wee while since we've seen you in the cage, and before we look ahead to Cage Warriors and obviously to Aaron, I think first if you could just close up on sort of, you know, your return was due to be at Bama and things, and what's the journey been like back end of 2015 to now, mate?
Yeah, been a long journey. So since then, had a family, got married, a bunch of different things, done a master's degree, and then moved around a couple of other different countries, settled, started my own gym, to a second location now. Just feel the time's right to get back in there. Not that during that time I was always actively looking for fights. I said yes to a short notice fight against Liam McGeary, never came up. I also offered myself to fight Israel Adesanya at the point when he wasn't in the UFC. He was 10-0, I think, in Australia.
Oh, wow.
And that never came off. So I was actively training for fights. I was kind of mainly preparing with Roger Gracie when he was competing and being down there and basically just doing MMA rounds a lot with him and a few other guys down there, Marcin Lazar, Modestus Falcausas, that's also just fought on Cage Warriors. And just, you know, so I was looking, I wasn't actively pushing, talking to shows, but just sort of training actively and living my life, and fight never really happened. So I'm at the point now where I've looked at things and analysed things, and I think that, you know, I need to be back in there, and I need to see if what I believe I can do is going to happen or not.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's obviously life has a way of like changing our journeys or whatever, but it sounds like you've always had that itch that you want to scratch and get back in there. Is it? It sounds like it's never left you, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been around competition my whole life. You know, football was what I started in, and was doing that all the time from, you know, 6-7 years old, competing professional level. And when I got into martial arts, it was always like the competition. If I started boxing, I wanted to compete. If I started, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I wanted to compete. The same with all of the martial arts. Yeah. I like training them, but something in me wants to think, I need to compete in this and see if I can actually do it in competition. So it's kind of like MMA. I'm still training guys and still teaching things, and I still think to myself, you know what, I'm not any different to I was 10 years ago, so why am I not competing?
No, absolutely, mate. Excited you're back in the cage, you're all the same, and you got a top fight in Aaron. I know Aaron pretty well. Interviewed him a couple of times, followed these fights with Ross Houston. That's how I came across the boy. Tough kid, man, good all-round skill set. You had a chance to check him out and things, eh?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they sent the name over and I looked at his fights, and as you mentioned, you know, I didn't see him get finished, always in decisions. The only fights I saw him lose were against Ross, and, you know, the first one was pretty close. Obviously, did another one, and although we lost it too, so the second one wasn't, you know, it didn't leave taking a great amount of damage. So, definitely for a comeback fight, I think it's a hard fight, but, you know, realistically, there's no point in me doing a boxing model where I come back in, I do a day-to-day and I fight a few clowns. It's not really, you know, it does nothing for me and it does nothing for, you know, for anyone else. So I think he's the perfect fight, up-and-coming guy. You know, I look at him kind of similar to when I fought Jack Marshman, but probably, as you mentioned, probably a little bit more well-rounded than Jack.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's talk a wee bit about your martial arts credentials. You named some of them there. We were speaking just prior there. Savate, Muay Thai, Karate, Wing Chun, BJJ. Am I missing anything else?
Well, pretty much every martial art that exists, I've probably tried it at some point.
You got a lot.
Yeah, just because I moved around the world so much as well. When you move different places, there's obviously different martial arts and different things that they call. And you know, I've always sort of thought, well, I'll try this. I think in the beginning, where I grew up, is all boxing. There does tend to be a lot of other credit to a lot of the martial arts. I think they're a joke, and I think I had that mentality. And then, obviously, the more I competed, the more I saw things working. I thought, you know, that's not. It doesn't apply to me. I find like people are landing kicks and they're landing spinning things to do these things. So, I think every martial art's got its success, its weakness, and it's about what you can take from it individually and put into your game. So,
yeah, man, that's the Bruce Lee philosophy, isn't it? Like plug in what works and just sidetrack what doesn't work for you and apply it all, man. It's You really have covered a lot, man. For like my amateur opinion, I started Taekwondo when I was 10, and it was like when I made the move to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which was like in my 30s, it was almost like I stepped into another universe, you know what I mean? It was completely different from where I started. It was just like, I had this in my idea that because I was a black belt in Taekwondo, I knew all about martial arts, and like how little did I know, man. I got my comeuppance a few times, I'll say that, man. On the mats for sure.
The hard thing is as well with a lot of those guys, because I've got some karate world champions that train with me and different bits and pieces like that, is I find it's hard for someone that's been through the journey of, let's say, 10, 15 years to get to that level, to then go into another class where they're not viewed as like, with that respect, oh, here's the black belt, this and that. So it's kind of why I don't like belts. My overall philosophy now in my teaching system is I don't like belts. I don't like separating classes, beginners and advanced. I think everything should just be mixed in. I think everyone can train the same things. That's the only thing, really that has to come across. I don't like the kind of ethics and politics of the gym of, this guy's higher rank and this and that. I just think it's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, it is very political. I mean, see, looking back on it now, I mean, I taught it later on in my 20s, but like the hierarchy. Maybe not so much for the schools that I taught, but like in Scotland, there's Taekwondo schools on every corner now, right? And most of them are a business. I'll be honest with you, man. And this hierarchy is it's almost like a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? It's just like to keep the money rolling in, and it's losing its authenticity of martial arts, and it just becomes sad, man. It becomes more of a business, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a shame, man. But anyway, let's get back to your journey. Obviously, we're talking about Aaron and things like that. But how's the preparation? How's the training been for this fight, mate?
I mean, it's pretty good. I think it's always different to assess training before a fight, because many fights I've had terrible injuries leading up to that I think we shouldn't be getting in there and have a great performance. And other fights, I've had a fantastic training camp and fought like absolute, terrible. So. It's been all right. It's been, I've had a few injuries, I've had a few little bits and pieces, but I think one difference now is I organise and do all my own training. I spent obviously time at a lot of world-class camps, and I still think in those world-class camps now I've got more of the journey and more of the knowledge than maybe a lot of the guys that were teaching me there.
Sure.
And I know myself better than anyone else. So, many people can tell me you should be doing this, you should be doing this. The generic thing I always get is who you're sparring with, where you're doing this, what's going there. And, to be honest, I'm doing a lot of different stuff with guys that, they might have only trained for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So I know what I'm doing, and I think it's going to give a different version of yourself.
It's good to hear, man. You're at a stage where, don't mind me saying, you've earned your stripes, so it's like, you're your own guy now, you know what I mean? So you'll know, like you said yourself, man, you'll know best what's good for you and what works, and I guess that's a nice position to be in, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's great to hear, man, and honestly great you're back in MMA. Though one thing I've got to ask, man, this photo of you that Cage Warriors put out, Jesus, man, could be a pic, like, who took that snap? I don't know if they've ever heard of filters or something. But
I think they asked me to send a picture, so I took one off. Mate. I mean, I've never looked young. This has been it.
But come on.
I've never been ID'd in my life. Like 16 years old, I've been in nightclubs. It wasn't, working the door. Nobody's ever said to me I look young. So what I'm hoping is by the time I'm 50 or 60, I'll look about my age. So
right.
It should be all right.
I think someone needs to get a filter on that, though. They can be kind to you, man. If I order the game or something, sort that out.
Yeah.
One thing that popped up on my timeline when I was before this was is it Fight Roulette? I saw you were doing some is it like some video breakdowns or something? But one of them was on a roller coaster. Jeez, oh boy.
Yeah.
Brave. I would be shitting myself.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
Well, I just looked at trying to create a new combat kind of competition. Still working on it really, so it's got different pieces on, and just trying to get a path, an avenue to explore, and then as it's happened, I've taken this fight, so I've kind of took a back seat on that a little bit for the time being, but might be something that I'll push again in the future. So
that's good, man. I like to see guys reaching out like that. Outstanding, Tom. I hate asking this next question, but I guess I'm going to ask it anyway. I never want fighters to look too far ahead, but after Aaron, if you get the W, where do you go from here, mate? Where does Tom Watson? What does he have planned for 2019?
I'd like to, Cage Warriors. The reason I went to Cage Warriors as well for that is, I think outside the UFC, they've got a lot of guys that were in the UFC. I think there's probably 5 guys in the welterweight division that fought in the UFC. So for me, I want to fight those level of guys, take those level of guys out. So really just keep fighting and keep winning and keep proving that, someone could watch my fights. I'm completely different martial artist than I used to be and demonstrate different skills.
That's awesome, man. Are you still going to be rocking the gorilla mask as well? You're still going to be Tom Kong Watson?
I've got a different version of it, but it'll still be in existence.
It's good, man. Well, Tom, an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast, sir. Delighted you're back in the cage. I can't wait to see you and Aaron lock cons. But before I let you go, I just want to offer you the floor here, mate. If you want to shout out any sponsors, associates, family, friends, it's all yours, sir.
I'm all good, man. Yeah, man, no worries. All good.
Tom, massive thank you again for coming on the show. Best of luck at Cage Warriors and hopefully catch up again soon, my friend. Back to Wales then. This young man's fighting style really excites me. Looking forward to seeing what he can do against a very tough opponent. And it's the Welsh Dragon, Mason Jones. Was it 91? When did you fight Lawrence Tracy? That was the first time I saw you fight Cage Warriors. 89, 90, maybe something like that.
Yeah, it's just over a year ago. I did all my fights from debut to obviously the most recent one. I think it was like 3 days after my most recent one. I was at the year annual that I started. I made my debut. And I did 6 fights in that time. So I think Lawrence was my 3rd, I think. Yeah, it was Sean Luther, Brett Haslett, and then Lawrence Tracy.
Just racking them up, man. Did you have many amis going into pro? Were you quite active in the amateur?
Well, I did a sort of amateur fight when I was 17.
Right.
I think 16, and then I went back. I was doing judo professionally, basically, with the Welsh team and the British team. So
nice one.
The MMA scene was a bit dead on the thing. I think I don't even think Shaky had started Pain Pit yet. Obviously, Pain Pit went on to be the Cage Warriors Academy card in Wales, which obviously gives rise to most. Obviously, Marshman got pushed through. I think he was on Cage Warriors by the time that started.
He was,
and all sorts. But yeah, I ended up doing one when I was old, and that I tried to make my debut. I was matched with Brett Haslett, and he got pulled up on his brain scans. It was the first safe MMA checks in Wales.
Oh, wow.
And then they found me a new opponent with a week to go. I accepted. We signed the contract. They rushed him through his medicals, and he had a I can't obviously tell you the scientific thing, but it was something to do with a tear through his eye. So I think it was probably his retina.
Whoa.
He's out forever as well. So in the end, they were like, "We can't get you a fight." So I had a unified amateur fight and fought. Oh God, what was his name? A Hulk of a man.
Beast, was he?
Oh yeah. Dark skinned, big built, ripped to death. What was his name? Because it was a Greek. He's named after a Greek god he is, which that was what we was laughing at.
He was named after what? A Greek god?
A Greek god, yeah.
So Zeus or something? What we're talking here? Hercules?
I'll tell you now. Hang on, I'll have a Google.
You're going to Google it? Right, go on then. Right, I'll race you, right? I'll try and Google it as well. Hold on. A Greek god? Oofed.
Yeah, I'm sure it begins with an O. You'll beat me to it now.
Because I'm on a laptop, that's why. Hold on. Let's see. Will I have your Amis on here? Hold on.
Should do.
Oh, shit, dog, come on. No, man, just tell me all your pro fights. I don't know. Someone needs to update your share dog, mate. That's what it is. That's going to annoy the fuck out of you now, isn't it?
Yeah. David Adonis. Of course, right. There you go, man. So he was a beast, Yeah, really nice players, really was. But I finished him in the first round, Kimura. So yeah.
And then just jump straight into pro. Good for you, lad. Good for you.
Well, that was the main idea. I wanted. I was pro boxing. Basically, so it goes sort of like this. I started training when I was 7. When I was about 6.5, they took me up to a Blamen Wrestling Hall, which Carl Parker was running, and he's now obviously Cleary Combat's wrestling coach.
Right.
And my dad's friends with Carl. I've known Carl for years, and they had an adult session where they was all training, and I was obviously a kid, and they basically said, look, we haven't got nothing we can sort of do. Give it a couple of years and come back. So my dad took me over to a kickboxing centre over Falcons. Joe Duffy, that's where he was training over.
Nice.
Obviously now he's just fought in the UFC again. So I started over there when I was 7 and a bit. Went from there, I went into judo, ended up getting in the Welsh team and then the British team and compete for my country. Won a national title. Got shortlisted for Commonwealth Games and then got injured just before I go to Glasgow. Multiple things, and then while doing that, we started BJJ. My judo coach pushed us all to BJJ, so I jumped into that. Started that when I was 15. Thai boxing I started when I was 17, same as boxing. Then after judo, I went in and pro boxed for a bit, jumped straight into pros, and ended up going 3-0. But I kept getting fights cancelled on that, so I did 2 years. I had 6 fights cancelled over 2 years.
Fucking hell.
And ended up making a debut in speaking to Shaky, because I know Shaky for years from when he was over Falcons, before he even started the gym, and he always said, whenever you're ready, just let me know and I'll get you on a card. So I give him a ring and say, look, Shakes, I've had enough of boxing. They keep cancelling on me. I'm selling tickets and they treat me like an amateur. So would it be okay, or what would you recommend me do? He said, I'll chuck you straight on an academy card. He said, I know you're at the level. So told me the safe MMA tracks the next show. Gathered the team together out of my judo coach, my boxing coach, and my BJJ coach. Luckily, my BJJ coach and my judo coach share the same BJJ affiliate, so that's why I fight in the Pedro Bessa. Mainly, it was just sort of tying them all together, and we went from there. So started tearing it up, and I don't work. I train full time. I was running a pub over the weekends, which I just give up to spend more time in America. I'm hoping to go out to Sacramento about 4 times this year.
Oh, nice. Out in the Alpha Mill, eh?
Yeah, Alpha Mill. I was thinking of trying ATT for a bit, but we looked into it a bit more, and it's just, the thing is, it's hard to get, not so much as get your name known, but sort of for the UFC level guys to see it and know that you're not going to go in there trying to collect skulls, you're not going to go in there being an idiot, or you're not going to be pulling on stuff that they don't want you pulling on. And they know that you're a decent training level, whereas not so much, like they get guys coming through who could be the next world champion, but if you're going in there and just trying to hurt people, you know what I mean, it's their career as well. So it's getting that connection with people so that they know that you're there to improve and that you're serious. So Team Alpha Male, they took to me. I remember the first day I go over there. I went over with I think it was my S&C coach come with me. He just wanted to check it out. He had questions over weight cutting and stuff, because we had a good weight cutting program we collected through buying lock art stuff and looking into lock art stuff and different things. And my boxing coach come over. He likes to come away and check the striking levels and stuff in different places. So I was the only fighter there really, and Faber sort of sent me down as I went on the steps, and I remember Cody come to the side, put his arm around me, had a chat, pulled me out of the mats, introduced me to everyone, and you just, do you know what I mean, when you're in a new gym, like I wasn't a kid by any chance. I think I was 22, but it's still nice, do you know what I mean, especially when you're always nervous to go on a match. There was first time I trained, there was 18 UFC fighters in the mats, so 18 people. That's in intimidating, UFC, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And it's just nice to go in, and that's the best camp I've gone to, really. I remember the judo camps you go to, just have people weighing you up. So it was a nice change.
See, as a judo guy, just because you brought up as well about the alpha male thing, like I know Scott Malone goes out there quite a lot, and he was telling me the thing he enjoys about it most is when he's training in Scotland, a lot of guys don't want to shoot on him because of the judo background, and it's so refreshing just like having wrestler after wrestler shoot on you, and like whether they know you, whether they don't, they don't give a shit. That's it's like he just gets such a kick out of that, like obviously different body types and whatever else, but like do you find the same, man? Like with your judo background, guys don't want to take a chance because they don't want to go flying over your shoulder or anything like that.
It really depends, because I don't have a team, so to speak. Like I know that sounds weird, but I'm sort of split into different sports. So like I train my wrestling and my no-gi with my one coach. I train my wrestling and my gi and no-gi with another coach. I train my boxing with another coach, my Thai with another coach. So I'm sparring different things a lot. And when I get to MMA spar, basically it's because of the weight I'm at, it's sort of, I just travel to gyms and train with different things. So I've just been training with Matt Academy guys. That's Lou Long, Aaron Khalid, a couple of new guys who are coming through the ranks. So at the minute now, I've just been doing rounds with Khalid, Ben. Lou Long's out. He's had
His
injury.
ankle, aye.
Aye, that was me, that was.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Aaron just told me there. What happened?
They invite me down. Lou invited me down to train, and we trained at the wrestling practice. And Aaron was there, so Lou was like, "Look, come on, jump in, have a bit of warm up, and then we'll do some rounds."
Right.
So perfect, because he had a fight coming up. So we mixed in, started wrestling straight away, and because wrestling's not like striking, you haven't got to hold back so much. Like we don't really hold back because like the other guy's not going to go shit the best on things. So when you like jump on a double or you run a double, you can put some effort into it. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Whereas striking, you're not trying to kill the other person. No one wants an injury, so you improve it without trying to damage each other.
Aye, of course.
So we just go in and we were having some awesome exchanges. Like the guy's so strong, he's an absolute tank. And then I shot a low single, run the pipe, and as I spiraled down, he just went over on his ankle weird and it just snapped. Clean snapped in half.
Oh fuck!
First time I was at the gym, I was like, I thought it was his knee, because you know when you hear a loud pop.
Pop, aye, that's right.
Well, I generally thought it was his knee.
Yeah.
So I straightened his leg straight out and just pulled his ankle, and he just sort of put his hands onto it, and he was so chilled. He was like, I don't know what.
He is so chill, man. He's the most like anything. Nothing phases that guy, man. I spoke to Lou a couple of times. It's like you could tell him the worst news in the world, and he's like, yeah, whatever. He's just so chilled, man.
And he was just sort of like, I helped him up, and he sort of walked over to the side. Like he walked, didn't huddle, nothing. I was like, well, what's that? And he was like, I think it's my ankle. I was like, oh, bad? He was like, nah, it's fine. It'll be fine in a few days now. So I messaged him 2 days later and was like, look, I'm so sorry about your ankle, because he had his Bellator debut coming up. Do you know what I mean? That's a dream for any guy. So I was like, look, I'm so sorry. I was like, how's it feeling? He's like, loads better. He's like, I'm working on it. I'm back training tonight. It's been fine. I feel great. I was like, oh, awesome. So day later then, my S&C coach rang me and he was like, have you heard? And I was like, yeah, why? He's like, you broke Lou's foot? And I was like, oh
shit.
No. He's like, he had pain through it again, so he went to the hospital and they scanned it and he broke it clean. And I was like, oh my God. So I left it a day or two when I messaged him, and I was just like, mate, I'm so sorry. And he just rang me laughing when I spoke to him. He just laughed and said, look, he's like, it wasn't as if you did something stupid. He just goes. And I've seen him a lot since, and every time I see him, I feel so bad. And my girlfriend was ripping me. She was like, look what you've done. You ruined dreams.
I would, man. I'd be ripping yourself.
I was like, are you serious? She's like, you're really, and she's laughing at me. And
Brilliant.
he's like, yeah, I'm literally, I can't wait to see him so I can tell him how much of a twat you are. And I was like, oh, I'm so good.
Fair play. Man.
Yeah, they're good guys. So
because
I'm spread out in so many different gyms, it depends. Like out in Matt, like Khalid's a good wrestler. Ben's a good wrestler. So these guys shoot at me at will, and I don't really get too much. And because I enjoy striking, I enjoy the wrestles, and I enjoy everything. It's good to get different levels. And like in Team Alpha Male, you just train wherever you want to do. Like I remember the one day I wanted to work on my wrestling, so all I do rather than strike with the guys, because a lot of them are wrestling standard guys, so I can sort of use my strikes a bit more. I was just having crazy wrestling exchanges with them. And there's a guy out there, Chris Gonzalez.
I know that word. I know that name. Gonzalez.
He's from Team Alpha Male. He's 5 times All-American.
He's a
wrestling
coach there, right? Aye.
Well, he's not you can probably get confused with Chris Holdsworth.
Oh, Holdsworth he was the boy in the Ultimate Fighter. That's right. He's a coach there as well.
Yeah, Chris Gonzalez. He helps out with the wrestling out there, but he's competing. He's only my age. I think he's a couple years older than me. I think he's 25, 26. But that guy is an absolute beast, and literally, he's still not made it. He signed with Bellator and still not made his debut. He's tried 4 times to make a debut, and he's had 8 pullouts, I think. So every time they pulled him out, they got him a new fighter, and that fight is pulled. Bellator, they got him a fight. He signed it, all ready to go ahead. He was excited, and then a week before his opponent pulled out, they got him a new opponent. He signed the contract and then pulled out instantly. So these guys are just looking at his record, seeing him fight. And to be fair, I wouldn't fight him. It's not worth it, because that's a hard fight for anyone. Like that guy, like I fought with double gold medalists in judo, and I fought with unbelievably good wrestlers, and that guy literally mauls me. So we had some sick wrestling exchanges. But when I go out Team Alpha Male, that's my goal, is to just take him down and stop him taking me down, because I know if I can do that, I'll be dominating everyone in UFC.
Yeah, that's
He's
a good
Darren Elkins,
gauge.
his main wrestling partner.
Aye,
and
man.
Sage.
I was going to say that's a good gauge, man. If that's a target, if I can get this guy down, man, like sky's the limit. I guess that's the mentality, isn't it?
Well, the best news I had was when Sage said he was moving down a weight. I've been kicked by that guy, and I'm not joking. That guy kicks like a horse.
Aye, hoofed. Speaking of kicking and knees and things like that, you got was it the knockout of the year? Is that right? Cage Warriors.
TKO of the year, yeah.
It was on the Casper, wasn't it? Aye.
I had the MMA Wales Awards for TKO of the year and Fight of the Year, and I had the Cage Warriors Award for TKO of the Year.
Nice. What the Cage Warriors, did they sort you out with it, or how's it? They just
No, it's just a title, I think.
bragging rights.
I would like to certificate mine. I'm going to get on to Graham next time I see him. Where's my certificate?
I
I need to go on the wall. But I think that's more to do with popularity, because Nathaniel Woods was on there for his knockout of the year, and that's probably one of the cleanest knockouts I've seen outside the UFC. Like, that guy stepped on, I think it was like 10 seconds in or 11, something like that.
Yeah,
10 seconds
aye,
in.
it was.
And he clips him with that left hook and sleeps him. Like, that was the TKO of the year. But again, it's just popularity. Like, I've got a big following, and I think these things, you winning these things, it helps show the Cage Warriors that I've got a following behind me, and people believe in me, and that I'm ready for the big fights. And obviously, when you've got a following like I, it helps for the UFC and all sorts.
Sure, man. Well, let's get to your opponent, man, because we've not even spoke about Donovan. He's got a fair bit of experience. What is it, just like something shy of like 20 fights?
12 and 5, I think.
12 and 5. And then obviously amateur in there as well. Like, you had a chance to check him out and rate him and that kind of thing, mate?
Yeah, I've seen him fight live, actually. I've seen him fight Fango in Cardiff. You was there for that card then, if you see me fight...
Oh, that was at 91, that's
Lawrence
right.
Tracy.
Aye,
Yeah,
it was
he
a Tracy,
fought
it was the
them
same night, aye. So you had the check. What'd you rate him?
Oh, yeah, dangerous guy. He hits hard, he's a powerhouse. I'll put him away in 2 rounds.
Fucking hell, confident lad. 2 rounds, aye, there you go. How's it going? How's it go down?
We come out striking, he'll tire out, and I'll break him in 2, to be honest, within 2 rounds. He likes it rough, same as me. But he sort of seems, when he takes a knock, he takes a bit of a bad cut, or he starts getting pressured, he doesn't sort of handle it too well, goes back in straight line. So I just think I'll be too fast for him, and he hits so hard, and you can tell now that he's one of those power punchers. But then my last opponent was a big power puncher, and my last opponent was more dynamic than he was, and he couldn't put me away, and he couldn't handle my pressure. I mean, 2.5 minutes he crumbled in, and then it took me 2 minutes to put him away. So
fair play, man.
2 rounds.
Fair play. Obviously, like we spoke a wee bit about like Welsh fans and the other guys that are on this card, yourself, Jack Shore, Aaron. I was talking to Aaron earlier on, and he was saying like it's a wonderful thing to feed. Like the majority of people there for Jack, but Welsh fans in general, man, you make a lot of noise, you boys, and like he'll feed off that. And I guess you'd be the same too, right? It must be a huge buzz when you hear that noise in the cage.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I sell about 300 tickets for these fights, so it's not too bad. But obviously Jack has a massive following, and I have a lot of fans in his camp, and a lot of the boys I grew up with who come to support me, they support Jack, and it's just all supporting each other. And I mean, it's just nice to fight in your hometown. I'd love to fight abroad, I'd love to fight away, and I'd love to be booed for a change. I think that'd be a nice experience. I think that's an awesome learning experience, because that's a different type of pressure again.
Good for you.
Exactly what Scott Malone did in his last one. Do you know what I mean? You come in your enemy's territory and you step on, and it was so for me when I fought in London, but because I fought a French guy, he didn't have much of a following there as well. So and I think we sold about 200 for that fight, so I had quite a big Welsh crowd in the O2 for that. So
but it's a good way to look at it. Put yourself in. That's testing yourself, isn't it? If you put yourself in enemy territory. So
well, I've always said, the way I've been taught is you got to think of Cage Warriors as being your college sort of thing. And,
yes.
You're learning your trade and practicing with interviews and practicing, so you fight different levels of opponents and you work your way up so that you're ready to fight those UFC level guys. And I think I'm getting it now. Like a win over Des May will show that I'm UFC caliber and I'm ready for the big step round. And then I'll be looking for that belt, and looking to earn some fights, but I'm in no rush. Do you know what I mean? I'm 23.
23.
When I weigh in, I'll be 24. It's my birthday, the day of weigh-ins. So,
no birthday cake then?
Nice. Pun?
No birthday cake a day away.
No, I didn't have birthday cake last year. Last year, I had, like I said, I had 6 camps back to back, so within a 12-month period. So I didn't have a birthday last year. It's just pushed through. But it'd be a nice birthday to smash Esme up and go to a good fight with him and get a good win away. And by no means am I overlooking him. Like I sound confident. I am confident, and I've analysed him, and I know I can beat him. But he's a dangerous guy, and he's someone who could fight in UFC, and I think he'd be a danger in there to a few guys, and I think I'm better than him, and I think I could beat him. So it's just time to put the chips down and show what I can do.
Fair play, man. It's going to be some night of fights for sure, an experience. Otherwise, you sound you're a very confident young man. So you won't mind me asking this next question. I hate to ask guys looking too far ahead, but after Donovan, you get the W. What's next, my friend? What's 2019 got in store for you?
Well, I'm open to get tickets. I should get tickets to watch Jay Herbert fight Jack Grant for the title, and I won't mind having a chat and seeing what they're planning on doing after that. I think Jack Grant will beat Jay. Jay's a dangerous guy, but I think Jack's the real deal, and I'd love a chance to share a canvas with him and put the beat on him. So that would be my next plan, but Graham and Ian haven't steered me wrong so far, so it's more so I'd love to finish this fight, have a sit down with Graham and Ian and discuss what they want me to do and what their plan is. At the end of the day, I want that title. If they offer me UFC now, I wouldn't go. I'm happy at the minute where I am. I want that title. I want to defend that title a bit and sort of get more experience again before I step up. I think a lot of people rush into UFC, and I'm here for the long game, not the short game. I want titles. I don't really worry too much about losing. It's just sort of going in there and earning my legacy. Do you know what I mean? So I want to be remembered. I don't want to be a name who's taken in and you win one good fight and then lose and then you're grinding back up and all of a sudden UFC cut you when you're back where you started. It's a hard game like that. So I just need to keep learning and keep improving and take one fight at a time. So I'm not overlooking Desmond, and he's a dangerous guy, and I'm really looking forward to fighting. And I think he is as well. I don't think he's overlooking me. He knows I come for a scrap. So it's going to be a hell of a fight. I think we'll have fight the night.
It'll
be good.
Oh, I can't wait, man.
Yeah. 23
years young, man. You've got such a head on your shoulders, dude. It's really pleasing to hear a guy talk about the future, but you're reining yourself in there, Mason. You're well aware that any major call-ups to the UFC or whatever is obviously going to be, that it sounds like that'll come in your future, man. It's good. It's nice to hear. It's refreshing to hear, mate. I'm looking forward to following your journey here for sure.
I start thinking of an exit plan when I get into UFC and win a title. You've got to start thinking of a way out. Then that's the hard part, find a way out to keep money. So that's the part you need to think about.
Absolutely, man. Well, I can't wait to see you boys throw down in Cardiff. Mason, before I let you go, I was just want to offer you the floor here. If you want to shout out any sponsors, associates, family, friends, anyone you like, mate, it's all yours.
Yeah, right. So big shout out to Tammy Fightwear. They support me since I was 16. PP Builders, again, they've supported me since before that when I was 14 with the judo, and they've helped funding my journey. Patent Seekers, massive sponsors. They've paid for my camps in Team Alpha Male and any patents they're guys to go to. You know what I mean? They're a massively growing company. They just all opened a base in Toronto as well as Wales, so have a look. Hilltop Honey, honestly, like I share this on my Instagram a lot, and the main reason they sponsor we get on so well and they sponsor me is because I do generally love their product, and I'll tell anyone the products are always on sale in Morrison's and stuff. Hilltop Honey, give them a try. It is literally lovely. And I'll give a shout out to Reece Jones PT, my S&C coach. Carl Bentley, TKD, he helps me out with my kicking and intensity fights management. they recently joined the team, and I think they're not going to steer me wrong.
Superb. Mason Jones, thanks again for coming on the podcast. It's awesome to hear you talk, and best of luck at Cage Warriors, brother. We'll catch up again soon.
Perfect, mate. Catch you soon.
Last up for a chat, always a pleasure getting him on. It's my man Boom Boom, challenging for the bantamweight crown, Scott Malone. Warriors 104. It takes place at the end of April in Cardiff, and I'm pleased to say we're welcoming back the main event, my man Boom Boom, Scott Malone. Scott, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Pretty good. Main event, main event for you, lad. How does it feel?
Big time.
Big time.
Feels good, man. Yeah, I think it's been a long time coming. Right?
It is. Aye. I mean, it's ups, downs, and sideways. And when we first spoke back at what was the first time we talked? I'm sure it was Headhunters, and even then you'd had about 20 opponents pull it on you, and that trend was continuing. But Cage Warriors, man, you've kicked the door down in this place, and you must be feeling good, eh?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Very confident coming to this fight. I know. I'm never going to look past them, obviously, but
aye.
Like I think I'm definitely feeling confident about this fight.
You had a wee face-off this week. Was it for Fight Pass or whatever? Yourself and Jack, and I think, was it Dan Hardy was doing the questions or whatever?
Yeah.
How was that experience, mate?
Yeah. So it was me, Dan and Jack in a wee room, like a wee studio.
Uh-huh.
We were just he was just basically asked about a question. It wasn't live, obviously, but the questions that we went through, it was just like we just ran through. It was all in one take.
Uh-huh.
So it was unnatural, you know what I mean?
That's good.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it was good. He's really respectful, and we were both respectful, so it was probably pretty boring to watch, to be honest. But
it's all inside the cage, man. That's what we care about. It's like, because like credentials, you've got them all, man. You're legit as they come, and so is he. Like Jack Shore, I know he's got the big following in Wales and all the rest of the folk love him there, but like he's a legit fighter, man. It's an exciting fight, not just if you're Welsh, if you're Scottish. I keep saying this to folk, like this is a main event that no one wants to miss, man. It's going to be a cracking fight, and you're a celebrity now, right, on the old BBC, my man.
BBC making it big time.
What were they saying to
it? It was good. You know what? It was it just came about. A guy, Tyrone, came up to me and he messaged, and he just wanted to do a wee piece. It's good for people to see. I think it's got like 8,000 views or something on Facebook. Shared, which is pretty mental. But yeah, it was good to do something a bit, and I think this says they might be doing another, like a sort of wee spin-off thing of it.
All right.
On another channel, and I can't remember what channel it is.
Is this will be the new BBC Scotland then, maybe? Is it this new channel?
Yeah, that's something to do with nine something or something.
All right.
I can't remember. But yeah, I think they might be doing another piece, or they're going to show that in there, on the air again, sorry.
Can't be a bad thing, if you get exposure for, especially in this country, man. You know what it's like MMA is still quite foreign to even martial arts in general, man. It's quite foreign to like a mainstream. It's good to get exposure and good to get like legit guys of yourself. Let's get a wee catch up actually. Last time we spoke, because obviously it was Cage Warriors 100 and that was a big deal in itself. You were straight back into camp after dominating Amasinga, and I remember you saying at the time, you know, you wanted a bigger name, and you got Josh Reed, and you got a job done, tidy armbar. You must be more than satisfied with how that night went.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting a lot harder fight, to be honest. But obviously, I'm happy the way the things went. You know what I mean?
Aye, of course.
It was good. Like I say though, I wasn't expecting the fight to end that quick. I was expecting a war, but happily came out there unscathed. So yeah, it's good to get in there. You
got there unscathed, and you got a title shot at it. So I mean, as much as you're probably preparing for a one, as much as it's been good for like I don't know, like ourselves or just like casuals watching it, it'd be good scrap. But at the end of the day, man, it's a result, and it gets you what you want. See, when you call for Josh Reach, actually, right? Because you were on the cage and you're motioning for the belt, and then obviously you called for Jack Shore. Did you think it was going to happen? Did you think you were going to get that shot?
No, I never thought. Sorry, that's my car beeping like mad here.
It's alright, mate.
No, I genuinely never thought I was going to get it.
Aye.
I think I've got a dad on Facebook, and I've seen a lot of my friends just giving me a bit of stick in that on Facebook, which was nothing to do with me, but I think that might have tipped them over the edge. So I'm kind of thankful for that. You know what I mean?
But sometimes that's how these things go down, man. Like social media, that should never be overlooked. People, like you said, man, folks tagging their mates and stuff. I remember when before Bungard got in Bellator, like we were always pushing for him, like to get and then when he got in, man, that poor Terry Brazier, he just like felt the wrath of all his kind of following. It makes a big difference, man. You felt the same?
Yeah, it definitely does. Like
for sure.
It's personally not my way of dealing with things, but I feel it did get me the fight, which was great.
Exactly, man. You got what you wanted. Before the announcement, I think it was February or something, and they announced it. Obviously, in between then and Cage Warriors 100, you had a Christmas and a New Year. Was that just time to sort of recover, or was it on the match over the festive period for you?
No, that was time for getting fat as possible.
Good lad.
Obviously done 2 back-to-back fight camps. So,
aye.
I was happy to eat as much food as possible.
What's your guilty pleasure? What's your snack of choice?
Cakes.
Just any cakes?
Cakes, I love cakes, man. Little's Bakery.
There you go, mate.
Little's Bakery is the one.
Some yum-yums in there, some donuts, just on the side.
Yeah,
Why?
The donuts, the toffee yum-yums.
Oh, come on.
Any sort of
Good lad. Mine's is always savoury. Like everybody says, "Oh, how's it no chocolate?" I mean, I'm not going to say no, but if I've not got a cut weight for jits or anything like that, it's just give me crisps, give me peanuts. I'm a bad boy with that, Scott, I tell you, man. But yours is cakes. Good for you, lad.
I'm never a big fan of like crisps. Like I do like crisps. The kettle's was it the kettle chips?
Yeah, aye, they're nice, man. Oh, aye.
They're my favourite ones, but cakes are the one.
Let's not talk about foodie because it's torture for the both of us. Let's get to Jack then, because obviously, I mean, we know this boy's got skills, but it's more. What I was wanting to ask you here, Scott, was I know you've been all around the world and we've spoken about this loads, but the guy's got quite a significant following, and it's Cage Warriors. They seem to be backing him as his poster boy, and it's in Cardiff, and it gets raucous there. Is any of that? I know we're not there yet, but is any of that playing on your mind that it's in Wales and it's in his backyard kind of thing?
No, like this is like every guy that's interviewed me said this, and I've always said like every time I've fought, not every time I've fought, but a lot of the time I've always fought on the guys.
More or less,
you know,
aye.
Josh, I fought Josh in the same place.
Yep.
I fought Jason Jenkins down in Wales as well. I fought Adam Bramall in Doncaster. He's from Doncaster. Like, you know what I mean? I've always sort of been the underdog. My first fight in York was against a guy from York.
Aye, that's right.
And that was like really daunting. I think that was probably the worst one. I came out. They made a big deal about Scotland v England thing.
Right.
And I came out and it was like, honestly, I got so much booze. And then when the guy came out, it was really loud. Like, honestly, I couldn't hear myself think. But it sort of spurred me on to win, which was. Yeah, so I think this might be the same thing again. So
you could argue then it might affect you, but in a positive sense, like use it as motivation?
Yeah, I definitely use it as motivation.
Aye.
I like to sort of silence the crowd, if you may, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. And you embraced the you know, where you're from in Scotland. I saw you were putting out a post asking for who's got a salt tire and all that for your face-off, so it'll be good to see the St Andrews flag flying in Cardiff, mate. And it would be perfect way to top things off as well. I mean, despite what we've spoken about for years, man, the opponents pulling out and stuff, but like I said, you've firmly established your name here at Cage Warriors. Taking the title, man, would that not just be some victory, eh?
Yeah, that's obviously, like, that's what I've been working towards since the start of MMA. This is like a milestone, you know what I mean?
Aye.
This was always going to be the milestone. It was always going to be Cage Warriors title, then it was going to be onto the UFC, hopefully, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. So see, after Jack, and I know I hate asking this question, but I've got to ask it, Scott. After Jack, right, you get the title, what's next? What's the plan for Boom Boom 2019?
I'm genuinely not really caring about the belt. The belt's not really what I want. Is that Jack's the name, you know what I mean? Jack's the guy to beat. He's the poster boy.
Right.
He's 10-0. He's unbeaten. That means he's been offered already from the UFC. So the next plan for me, hopefully, would be the UFC. If not the UFC, I'm probably looking at a big promotion. But I've still got a couple of fights left on my Cage Warriors contract. If I win, I think I've got another 3. And the only way I can get out of there is if I get a UFC contract, I think.
Right.
That's the only way. So even Bellator I can't get out, which is it's not the best, it's not ideal, but you know what I mean. If UFC is to come along straight away, that would be the dream thing to happen.
It's what you deserve, man. I mean, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but like, obviously, followed your journey for a fair wee while now, mate, and you've earned your stripes more than enough. And if you get a victory here, whether it's a title or how you're looking at it, just a victory over a established guy like Jack, I mean, that's top of Everest at this stage, man. It's got to be on to the next big thing, and I really hope it comes for you, man. I can't wait. It's going to be some night for sure. But what about the Scottish Hit Squad? When are we going to see you back down our way, my man?
I was actually thinking about coming through tomorrow. I think Brandon that's away. So.
Yeah, all the boys are away for Paul's Philly.
Probably once Paul and Bungie and that's back, I'll probably pop through. I'll definitely be there before my fight.
Okay, that'll be good, man. Look forward to it. Scott, it's always a pleasure getting your time in the podcast. I feel I've been on this journey with you, if you don't mind me saying, mate, from when we first spoke back at Headhunters to now. It's been cracking. Before I let you go, you want to shout out any sponsors, associates, family, friends, coaches, you name it. It's all yours, mate.
Yeah, well, I've just recently got, honestly, like another 10 new sponsors.
Nice.
Rolling in sponsors just now. I'll give all the original sponsors we mentioned first, and I'll mention my new ones. So,
go for it.
All the original ones have been Scan Fitness Food, which is all deliver meals, which is like amazing meals. They actually deliver nationwide as well, so if you're wanting any meals, get the Scan. Skyline Scaffold, which is my work that I work for, my brother's company. Gives me days off, helps me out a lot with trips to California and stuff. Forsythie, he's helped me from the start, always helps me a lot. Python Fighting, which does all my gear. Hellcat Graphics, you know Liam yourself.
Yeah.
Helps me with the banners, does the Boom Boom t-shirts, get a Boom Boom t-shirt every week. Who else? I've got the Dapper Gent, which is my own. Enhanced Sports Performance, which is my strength and conditioning coach, which is Adam, which is absolutely brilliant. He's really helped me come along with all the strength and conditioning and stuff. I've got Fitness Training Scotland. They actually do like personal training and stuff like that. If you want to get your qualifications, so go there. And Scott Fife Garage, this is the new one. So Scott Fife Garage, that's like a wee garage in Dundee. If you're from Dundee, you probably know where that is. Does all the really fun cars. I've got Hamp Grind, that's the barbers, that's where they got all the fresh fades. Nice. Fresh Ink Mary Spa, that's like a women's cosmetic thing. That's where I'm going. Gotta get my lips done.
There you go.
We've got Pharaoh's Parcel, that's a new one. That's like if you wanted to get anything delivered. I'm running out of breath here.
You're well loved.
I've got another 5. I've got Clear View, which is a window cleaning business, which is Fraser Hirsch. You know Fraser Hirsch that fights on top of stuff?
Yes, alright.
He's given me some money to go to California, which I really appreciate.
That's
got Callum Stewart that does all my tattoos. He's helped me out with all the tattoos, gave me free tattoos, which is brilliant. And Feel Supreme, that's the newest one, and they do all my CBD and like supplements like cordyceps mushrooms and all the rest of the things.
Nice.
And a new one that I just got over the last day is Sunsup. So Sunsup, I'm going to have them. Ross is sponsored by them, Aiden's sponsored by them as well. Just does all your like protein, creatine, omega-3s, all that stuff. So if you're in Scotland, definitely check them out.
Good stuff, man. That's awesome. Scott, Boom Boom Malone, best of luck in Wales, my man. And looking forward to you bringing that title home. Catch up again soon, buddy.
Right, bud.
Hello, welcome to Martial Arts Chat Podcast. We're continuing with this coverage and build of Cage Warriors 104. It takes place in Cardiff on the 27th of April. We've heard from the fighters, now let's hear from the Roundtable. First up, returning to the show from Severe MMA, it's Mr. Shawn Betts. Shawn, how you doing, sir?
Great, mate, absolutely fantastic. Good manager in charge of Leicester City now. So I couldn't be better, mate.
Happy days, man. The Celtic have done alright. We've got Neil Lennon, but he's no Brendan Rodgers, man, that's for sure. No Martin O'Neill. Aye, definitely. It's payback, innit?
Payback, mate. 20 years of hurt.
That's it, man. From Newsome MMA, new to the show, Kieran Cobley. Kieran, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Fine, thanks, mate. Just cheers for having me on.
Guys, 3 fights in particular I was wanting to get into, and we'll start with a young guy who's got a lot of buzz around him, man. Feral following in Wales as well. Mason Jones. He takes on an experienced Belgian fighter in Donovan Desmay. Let's get the roundtable's thoughts and predictions for this. We'll start with Shawn on this one. Shawn, the Welsh Dragon. He seems like he's worth a hype. Does he get the job done here for you, my friend?
Amazing. I can't speak highly enough of Mason Jones. Been following him now through the Cage Warriors academies for quite a while, and the guy just oozes class. I mean, you'd have interviewed him yourself for the podcast this week, and even the way he speaks, he's just so savvy. Like, he's never happy with his performance, no matter how flawless it seems to be. He always seems mad about something. But like, the guy's 23, he's fighting a guy that's a lot more experienced than him. But you know, I think he's going to run through Donovan. I know, like, I'm making predictions straight away, but I really do, like, if I was rating people in my top 5 in the UK, Mason Jones would be number 1, maybe number 2.
Oh, aye, for sure, man. He's up there for sure. Kieran, what about yourself? What's your thoughts on this lightweight contest, and if you want a prediction, mate?
I'm predicting this is going to be like a fight of the year contender for myself, for Cage Warriors.
Nice.
Mason Jones, obviously, we know about him. His stand-up was so impressive. He's finished like two fights by knockout, 3 by submission.
Yep.
It's just fantastic everywhere. I think fighters, they fixate on his stand-up because it is so nasty. Obviously got that TKO of the year last year for Cage Warriors. But I see this fight panning out that Jones just frustrates Desmay on the feet. Desmay shoots in, and then he just gets absolutely hammered on the ground. I'm going to take Jones by second round finish.
Nice, man. Yeah, when I was talking to him, he was cluing me up on all sorts, man. He's got judo, you know, that's a big part of like his base. But he's all over the place, man. He trains he obviously like good guys to train with in Wales, like Lou Long, Aaron Khalid and stuff like that. I think he was the one that actually done in Lou's ankle. He was saying that's how he got his injury. But he goes out to alpha male and fucking he gets around him, man. This boy, I'm really excited to see what he can do, man. It's fight of the night could be a good shout, lads.
Yeah, he's 6-0, and you know, he's fighting a guy with, you know, nearly 3 times the amount of fights he's had. Do you know what I mean? I think Donovan's about 16 to 20 fights, somewhere around that range. I can't remember perfectly.
But 12 and 5, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, so somewhere in around
amateur, then. Didn't there as well? Aye.
And Donovan, if I remember right, has got wins against. Did he beat? Aidan Lee. He fought Aidan Lee. And
he did fight Aidan Lee. I'm sure you're going to make me share dog in there.
So he's no. I'm pretty sure. You can trust me on that. But yeah, so he's no mug. But like I say, Mason is just so convincing. When you talk to him, he lives for the martial arts. You know what I mean? And the only guy I've seen at that age that was that dedicated to the sport was maybe someone like a Tom Breeze. Do you know what I mean? Where everything he did it revolved around fighting. Even the way he ate, the way he slept, everything. And he comes out for his post-fight interviews, Mason, as well, and he's wearing like 3-piece suits and stuff. He just gets it. He just gets it, starring and making sure.
Yeah. He's got that exciting style as well, so obviously going to get fans on side as well. He's going to have a massive following by the time that, you know, I think next year we're going to see him as Cage Warriors lightweight champion. I think the year after it's probably going to be in UFC.
Yeah, man, sky's the limit for that boy for sure. Let's talk co-main event, guys, because we've got Tom Collin Watson making his return to MMA. Moved down to welterweight actually for this one, taking on a tough opponent, a guy I know well, Aaron Khalid. Let's start. Let's start with Kieran this time. Kieran, give me your thoughts when King takes on Kong.
I mean, I struggle to see Tom Collin Watson actually winning this fight. I think it's 4 years out. Obviously, last year he was meant to return to Bama, and that all went down the shitter.
Aye.
It just didn't turn out for him the way he wanted to. I don't think it returned. I think the age thing is as well as much as, you know, he has got a massive experience advantage here, but I think the age is going to play into it. I think moving to welterweight, that's that's a bit of a shout as well. I don't know whether that's going to pan out for him. He's quite a big guy, so whether he can get down to welterweight or not smoothly could be difficult. But also got to factor in that Aaron Khalid's could have come into this fight on a massive confidence boost. He's won his last three fights. He's won six out of his last seven, have all been 6 of his last 7 wins. Sorry, have all been by submission. If I'm Aaron Khalid, I'm coming into this fight very confident, knowing that this win it could get me back into a title eliminator, possibly being such a legend. So I'm going to take Aaron Khalid by submission.
Fair play, man. What yourself, Sean? Who are you picking in this one? How's it going?
Just one quick question before I go in on this. Have you interviewed Tom Watson pre-fight?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all right. Well, try not to burn too many bridges for you then. I mean, listen, Tom's a guy that I approached to interview, 9-10 years ago when I first started out on this sort of covering MMA journey, and he was just really difficult, rude at times, that sort of stuff. So I've never really been the biggest fan, although I can appreciate he's had some absolutely great fights, harking back to the Obama days.
Yeah.
And he had some absolutely cracking fights within the UFC. So I've never been a massive fan of him, but you can't doubt that the guy can fight. But that being said, I would love Aaron Khalid to go in there and just retire him forever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to sit on the fence as much as I can. But listen, Aaron Khalid, he's the new school. Tom Watson's the old school. The only person that's really handled Aaron is Ross. We know how good that kid is. If Aaron's just slightly not as good as Ross at this moment in time, that still makes him absolutely quality. I think he'll be too much for the old guard, Tom Watson.
Yeah, I'd seen that a couple of times. I think John Sloan actually put it out.
John tried to get into him and he just shot him down on Twitter. It's hilarious to watch, but
announcing it publicly was a bit hi.
He's odd one to read because when we've interviewed him like sort of post-fight at shows, he's great. Do you know what I mean? He's switched on. He's media savvy, but sort of I don't know if he does it for shits and giggles on social media. But, that I felt for John the other day. Do you know what I mean? When I seen that, and it harked me back to 9-10 years ago when he sort of did similar to me. I sent him a load of questions over on Facebook, and he just gave me the shittest, stupidest answers ever. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it was back in the day. But I think he just probably does it for shits and giggles. But since then, from now, I just want Aaron Khalid to beat him.
Fair enough. Do you know what it is? And I mean, I only spoke to the boy maybe like 30 minutes at most. But I think he's his own guy. He runs his own sort of training camp. He doesn't really have a team of people around him. And he's into all sorts of like exotic martial art, listen to me, like Savat, like that's the most exotic in the world. But do you know what I mean? Like he's not. When I think of MMA or we think of guys coming up, it's always wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. Do you know what I mean? It's like the martial arts that go hand in hand with it. He's a bit out there in his training, and even like when I was interviewing him, you want to give the guys the floor and offer them, if you want to shout out any sponsors or family friends. He's like, nah, I'm good. There wasn't an answer that I'd ever had before. He's like, nah, I'm all right. I don't need to shout anyone out. So I think he's just his own guy, and I don't know. It sounds like I'm sticking up from here, but
no, I do get that. I think he probably does do it just to sort of give a bit of needle, shits and giggles, that type of thing.
Aye.
But as a young aspiring, I hate calling myself a journalist because I really don't see myself as that. But back in the day, I was probably a little bit wounded. I felt for John the other day as well.
Aye, same man.
I just, us guys, as much as probably some of the fighters don't like talking to us, without us. It's a big sucky. It's like a circle, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like they're not without us, and we're not without them.
Absolutely, man. Let's get talk main event then. Jack Shore is on fire. My man Boom Boom here finally gets what he deserves, in my opinion. Shot us some gold. Going to be some scrap. Let's start with Kieran. Kieran, give me your thoughts. Shore versus Malone. Who we got?
I'm going to take Shore for this one. As much as Boom Boom is your mate, I've got to take Shore. 10-0. We saw what he did to Mike Akindu. We just shut him down at his own game. Just wrestled the fuck out of him for 3 rounds, then just smashed him. But he's also training with his dad, Richard Shaw. But he's also the other guys he's training with, Chris Edwards, Josh Reed down there in his training camp as well.
Aye.
He's gone out to Alpha Male in the past to do a bit of training, I think, as well. He is so well-rounded. He doesn't like taking fights to finishes. Taking fights to decision, sorry. The only decision on his record is against Vaughan Lee, who at the time had 28 fights to Jack's 7.
Yeah.
So, I personally see Jack winning this. I think I think it's going to be a slog. I think Boom Boom's is a tough guy. We know that. I think he's going to take Jack the full 5 rounds. I think he's going to go to a decision.
I think this could be fight of the night. Good show, by the way, Kieran. But I think this is all the makings of fight of the night. You look at Scott's record, man. I know I'm kind of coming from a biased point of view. I've followed Scott since he's turned pro, but there's been so many cancellations, man. That guy should have had at least double the fights that he's had up until this point. But credentialed as well, judo, Commonwealth background, all the rest of it. And then you've got the other side, the poster boy basically for Cage Warriors, and the boy's got skills to boot, undefeated Jack Shore. I mean, I've probably jinxed it now with my fucking little send off, but I think this is going to be an absolute belter of a fight.
I sort of forgot to mention as well, we've just mentioned about how difficult Tom Watson can be with the media, whereas Jack Shore is on the complete opposite end of this. I've interviewed him before. He's such a nice lad. Time for anyone. I interviewed him last year after the fight against Burnley, actually, and he was fantastic. He had all the time in the world for the media. Hung out in the media tent for a bit after as well to watch some of the fight. So he's just a fantastic lad. He's definitely got the fan base as well. We've seen the Jack Shore's on Fire chance going down all the way from Wales down to London to support him, so it's fantastic he gets to defend his title in his home arena.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and all those guys, man, artillery, like Richard as well, like they're very, very approachable, nice guys, and they do a lot for the community. So shout outs to them for sure. Sean, how about you? Your thoughts on the main event, and still or new?
I don't know. I think I agree with you. I think this is so evenly matched. This could well be a fight of the night type fight. I backed against Jack Shore last time against Ekindeo. I thought Ekindeo was going to be too much for him, and he just made him look average, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I do really rate Scott Malone as well. It's just too tight to call. We have these fights in the UFC where we have like a loser leaves town type thing. Do you know what I mean? The loser's going to be out of the UFC. Well, this could well be the winner of this fight. Might be walking into the UFC. These guys are both there at the minute.
Yeah.
It is really close to call. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go either way, and it could end absolutely anywhere as well. It's not. I can't call like a knockout or a submission. Both guys are capable of finishing this fight in a multitude of ways.
Guys, there you have it. Cage Warriors 104. It's just round the corner. Thank you for all the fighters for their time, including Tom Watson. I didn't realise I was in such blessed. Appreciative of your time, but I also want to extend my thanks to the panel here. Start with Shawn Betts. Sean, a pleasure as always, mate. Let our people know where to check out Severe and maybe what you've got coming up, my friend.
Severe MMA, obviously. I'm hoping by now everyone knows who they are. I'm on Twitter, sbets_MMA. Check out my boy Cali Steve and Frontmer MMA as well. Go and follow there. We're at all the grassroots shows around the UK. The next big show we're at, I think, is Bellator Birmingham on May the 4th, which is a cracking card. Get yourself there. No excuse. It's in the UK. A nice cheap ticket. Go and support that show.
Superb, man. To Kieran Cobley. Kieran, massive thank you for coming on, sir. Let everyone know about Newsome MMA and where to follow all the good stuff you do online, my friend.
Yeah, cheers for having me on, man. Hopefully be on in the future as well. Make sure you follow us at Newsome MMA on Twitter. That's Newsome_MMA. We're currently Adam's running a thing on the Twitter to get him to 3,000 followers. Whether they offer him a premium bet service, chance to win yourself a premium bet service there. Also, make sure you're looking out for the interviews. We've just had one released today with myself and Dean Truman. Hopefully next week we've got a couple more coming out as well. Again, hopefully there'll be a few more shows this year. Hopefully Bellator Birmingham, Bellator London, and a couple more of the Cage Warriors shows this year as well.
Awesome stuff, man. And thanks for listening. If you've liked this show, be sure to follow us on Twitter. It's at Martial Arts Chat. Give us a like on Facebook.com/Martial Arts Chat, and subscribe to us, iTunes, all the platforms. Just search for, you guessed it, Martial Arts Chat. I'm John Boyd McElroy, and I'll catch you next time on the Martial Arts Chat podcast.